Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Evans, Senior Vice President of Paramount Pictures. Now, look, last few years have been rough for Hollywood. I'm sure the only question on your minds is, should you sell short or go long? And I understand that. I do. You're a Fortune 500 company. You're worried about your reputation. But take a look around this table. You politicians, innovators, captains of industry, none of you is sitting here because you played it safe. And you all know in some ways that the most important tool to help you in your pursuits is loyalty. I mean, you don't want your investors looking for a good time on a park bench. No, you want to develop a deep relationship. You want to create trust and love. But you can't do that with empty promises. No, you have to feed their souls. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's hard. That is hard. Right now, the soul of America is broken. War, assassination, civil rights protests, we're hurting. We're hurting. And people don't trust politics or big business. So what can America look up to? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Excuse me, Charlie. Paramount. Take a look at the logo. We're the mountaintop. We're the goddamn Statue of Liberty, because you can give us, you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses yearning to breathe free, and we'll give them 2 hours of respite from the harsh realities of this world, complete with popcorn and Coca-Cola. And we'll do what other people can't. We'll entertain them. We'll get them escape. We'll feed their souls until they're fit to burst. And that's something that you can't quantify by checking the stock on the daily ticker. So, sell short or go long. Well, a year ago, the answer might have been obvious. But then came Love Story, which just grossed over $100 million and fed the souls of America. And people might say, you know, Evans, you only get lucky once. At Paramount, we make our own luck. Love Story was the second biggest selling book of the decade, beaten by only one other. And let me tell you, gentlemen, you do not throw in the towel. You do not throw in the towel when your fighter is about to land the second part of a 1-2 combination. And that right cross, which is going to bring us to championship, it's going to bring Paramount right back to its glory. Well, that's the biggest selling book of all time. It's The Godfather, and it's ours. It's ours. We can feed their souls because we know what people want more than sugar or auto parts or whatever else Gulf Western does. They want stories, Charlie. They want escape. They want love. And they want guns, romance, and violence. Love Story and The Godfather.
Is that it, Evans?
That's it, Charlie.
Then get out.
Thank you, gentlemen.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away,
So, heads up, guys. Sparrow dropped a nuke of a scoop to Cameron, and it looks like things are going to be changing for the better at Lucasfilm and perhaps at Galaxy's Edge. Now, the reason why I added the scene from The Offer where Robert Evans bursts in on a board meeting of Gulf and Western and basically saves Paramount Pictures. I wanted that to be the example of financial suits the Wharton graduates versus creatives. Now, Robert Evans is one of those guys that was actually creative and a financial guy. He knew how to keep a budget, okay? And he's probably one of the most important movie producers of the 70s. Okay, so if you want, bio is great. Matthew Goode, I think, deserved an Emmy nomination for this. He was really great. But the reason why I put it in here is because this guy, Jon Favreau, was apparently having a debate with the suits at Disney about reskinning Galaxy's Edge to reflect the George Lucas mythos and the original trilogy, which is what people want, he said. They were like, well, you're using so much money on deep fake technology and this is going to cost a lot of money. Now, this is my opinion. It already looks like Tatooine. How much money would it cost to turn where the Falcon is into, Docking Bay 94? Not much. Change some signs around. Get rid of that stupid rectangular sensor dish and put the other one up on it. Rise of the Resistance, come up with something different and make it, the fight on Endor. All right. And replace Finn with Han. And replace Kyle Ron with Vader. Okay. There are lots of things they could do I don't think would cost as much money. Now, maybe he wants to go bigger. And his reply was, you have to spend money to make money. And he's right. All right. Now, I don't know where Disney is today in their stocks. Market did open. I'm gonna look later. We'll see. So that's the first part of John's debate with the executives. It's always about money. The creatives want to do something to bring people to the theaters, to the parks, and the financial guys are always going to be cautious when money gets tight. Financial guys hold on to it tighter. Okay. The thing about guys like Robert Evans, Jon Favreau, George Lucas is that they see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is always successful. Okay. And that's the first part of the thing. Reskin Galaxy's Edge to reflect George Lucas's mythos and the original trilogy because that's what the fans want. But what else does it mean? Who will we see as cast members? Will we see Vader in Galaxy's Edge? Yes. Will we see Han, Luke, and Leia? Well.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. but we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
So, what else will we see? Han, Luke, and Leia. Apparently, one of the complaints that the financial guys are, we'll call them a collective version of the collected version that Colin Hanks played in The Offer, Barry Lapidus, Wharton graduate, and a complete, overly cautious, tight ass. Okay. The Barry Lapiduses at Disney were telling John, you've already spent so much money deep faking Han, Luke, and Leia, because that technology is expensive. So, that tells me that these three, the scoundrel, his princess, and her brother, are going to show up in The Mandalorian, in Ahsoka, Season 2, Heir to the Empire, because they have to. I mean, that's their story. And I'm absolutely, I can't wait. Now, I know there are going to be people out there complaining about, well, they should just recast. And then Sebastian Stan. I don't like Sebastian Stan for the role of Luke because he's too tall. Mark Hamill was like 90 pounds soaking wet. And I think that's great. I think that's who Luke is. He's the last person you'd ever expect. All right. Okay. Awful Aaron Yuck, Alden Ehrenreich, already proved that you can't replace Han Solo. Sometimes an actor really is indispensable. You know, like Vince Lombardi was the indispensable head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and they failed for decades before they got back to being the great football team that they had been. Okay. Harrison Ford is indispensable. Carrie Fisher is indispensable. I mean, so I don't mind the deep fake. And I did add at the end of this Harrison Ford talking about the Dial of Destiny at the 1923 premiere, deep faked to look about 50 years old. So it can be done. I think it looks great. To the people complaining, stop it and just sit back and enjoy it. And if you're so immersed in being taken out of the movie or the show, knock it off. I mean, look, Luke Skywalker shows up at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, and I very rarely heard anybody complaining about the deep fake. The first deep fakes that we saw, I thought Tarkin was okay in Rogue One. Leia needed work. I'm sure they can go back and redo it for physical copies and make her look better. I know Shamook did that. Okay. As the technology gets better, people will get more used to it to the point where they'll be like, yeah, this looks great. Now, because it's so hard, and I can't describe how awful Alden Ehrenreich was. It's a soy eating, soy drinking, weirdo versus a guy that eats red meat. A masculine dude versus an emo douchebag. I mean, and the emo douchebag is trying to replace the masculine dude. Now, that's not his fault, but the idea, whoever put it into his mind that he could play Han Solo, you're looking at him going, you're fucking ludicrous. That guy, look, if I'm taller than a man and I'm wearing my kitten heel pumps, he's too short, okay? He's just too fucking short. And that was the problem. So you can't really trust casting department to do a good job on this, because they didn't with Solo. All right, they didn't at all. So I like the idea of the deep fake. And to go back to Galaxy's Edge, I like the idea of Galaxy's Edge being reskinned. I don't see what the financial issues are, but the fact of the matter is, if Favreau is going to Disney saying, I want this changed to reflect George's original vision, that's what the fans want. Favreau's right. Give the fans what they want, right? So coming up is Harrison Ford, deep faked at the premiere of 1923. And you can't really see the difference. This is what we could get for Star Wars and the original characters. And think about going to Galaxy's Edge and actually seeing Tatooine and Endor and maybe Cloud City, maybe the Emperor's Throne Room. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.
That's actual archival footage of me at that age, because Lucasfilm has all this bank of stuff to be able to pick through. I don't even know how they do it. It's artificial intelligence. It's pretty good.